my fails. Remember, this is a sisterhood. Just was here one day and she was not the next. So I was just basically praying to the Most High to just like, as I have officially made it out of the 300 plus club. I feel like I'm a bad person. I'm just not who I thought I was.
How long must the so-called black man suffer? Hate from the nations and hate from his brother. Another brother dead is another soul gone. I'm praying for the Lord to take us up and take us home.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today is Thursday and I am up working, doing all the things. I'm about to get DJ and Israel ready to start their work for today. I hope you guys are excited to celebrate Passover. I'm actually really excited this year. Not that I'm not excited other years, but I'm just in the spirits a lot this year. Part of it is because I think my mindset is just different, and I attribute it to eating healthy and losing weight and all of that jazz. I've been fasting a lot lately, like alternate day fasting, and it's something about fasting that just kind of declutters you. Let me explain what I mean by that. So you know how you go around, at least I do. I'm a pretty organized person right now. I feel like my house is not organized, but for the most part, I'm pretty organized. Like, things are in an orderly fashion. I can get messy sometimes, but for the most part, everything is organized. And I find myself several times a year, at least once a season, going around, decluttering, getting rid of clothes, paperwork, things that we're just not using, and it's just taking up space in my home. I'm very much that type of person. I need to, like, if I'm not using something or I haven't used something in quite some time, I will get rid of it. I just don't like having a lot of stuff. It just bugs me. So I do that a lot, but I almost feel like going through this, I don't want to call it a weight loss journey because it's not really what it is. It's almost like a wellness journey. That's the closest thing that I can describe it as. Y'all, my hair is literally living la vida loca right now. I feel like it's all over the place. I didn't twist my hair last night and I slept on this side, and I just feel like it's just living its best life, doing what I do. I just feel like my mind, my body, my spirit is decluttering or detoxing. That might be a better word for it. And it's something about fasting that it just does that to you. That I don't know how else to describe it. I wanted to talk to you guys about how I've been feeling lately, because I'm sure there's someone out there that can relate to what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right in because I don't really know where to start with this. Since I was in my early 20s, I've always had this sense, and I was gonna say that I'm gonna be vulnerable in this clip or this conversation, but honestly, it just is what it is. I'm not trying to be vulnerable. I'm not trying to like have like a deep feelings chat. I'm just going to be honest about how I'm feeling. So since my early 20s, I have always dealt with feelings of not being good enough, or not feeling worthy, or feeling like I'm a bad person. And I think that kind of sums it up. Just feeling like I'm a bad person. Well, I kind of know where I kind of got that mindset from. I feel like I was always kind of vulnerable to be at risk for those kind of thoughts, but I know the turning point in which my mind just went to this: you're a bad person, you're not good enough. I can pinpoint where that happened. But I almost feel like there's two sides of me. One side of me where I'm confident, I know my worth, I know what I should be feeling about myself. I'm a very pros and cons person. When I am stuck or conflicted about something, I will literally make a pros and cons list. So I've done that several times. I know that my pros outweigh my cons, but for whatever reason, I always default to, and it's usually when I'm having issues with like depression and stuff like that, I always default to feeling really bad about myself or literally like I'm not a good person. And it drives me insane because I know that I'm a good person. I know my intentions are always good. Like I'm not ever in a place where I'm trying to I'm never in a place where I'm trying to purposely hurt someone. Now, I have hurt people. I have said things and done things that I didn't mean, because if I'm being honest and being truthful about who I am as a person, I have a tendency to be very emotional and react without thinking. So yeah, I have said and done things that I don't mean, right? But overall, my intention in life is to help and to be a good person and be a good mom, be a good wife, be a good me, the best version of myself, just be who Tisha is. And I just always struggle with feeling like I am a bad person, and I just don't understand why I keep going back to that place. But you know, everyone deals with things in life. It's just my struggle right now, or it has been my struggle for almost 20 years. I'll be 39 in a month, say 19 years. It's been my struggle and I just have to overcome it. But what I'm noticing, to kind of tie things back together, is as I'm fasting and the weight is coming off and I'm taking care of myself, it's not like I'm just, oh, I'm trying to lose weight and that's it. I'm eating really healthy. With the occasional, if I go out, I'll eat whatever I want, right? Taking vitamins. I'm working on my cortisol levels and my sleep and my gut health first and foremost. The side effect to that is losing weight, which is great because I'm hyper aware of losing the weight and making sure that that is a priority for me, but it doesn't overshadow the important things, being mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and lastly, physically healthy, right? So for me, it's just about changing my whole perspective and my whole lifestyle to where I'm just an overall 100% all around healthy person. And as I'm doing that, I'm just noticing that I'm just not who I thought I was in some ways. This is just not, I hope this is making sense because I'm trying to make it make sense and in my brain it's not right now. But I just feel like I'm not who I thought I was in some ways. So I've adopted, even though I feel like within my head and in myself, I have a good sense of self, but when I'm feeling crappy or something happens, I default to this like negative space and I can stay there for a while. It's almost like those thoughts are so intrusive that subconsciously I think those things about myself. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just realizing as I go through this journey that I'm just not, some of the ways that I thought I was, some of the things that I thought that I couldn't do because of this reason or that reason, that's actually not true. I'm realizing that there's really no limitations to what I can do. It's almost like a freeing experience for my mind. It's just like lately I've been having this mindset where it's like, okay, bounce back. And I've always been able to bounce back. I've always been a very resilient person. And resilience can be good, but it also can be bad. You can stay stuck in bad situations or bad habits because you have this habit of always bouncing back. To the good part of my resilience, I've always been able to bounce back, but I find myself bouncing back so much quicker. So whereas I would go into depression, I would have a really bad day or something would happen, I would go into depression and I would be in that depression from anywhere from a week to a month. I'm literally bouncing back in a day. And I have like this positive outlook and mindset where I'm like, you know what, it is what it is, it happened, move on. And I'm just feeling very different. And I don't know if that's just a part of life. I'm getting into my mid-years of life. I'm gonna be 40 in about a year. So maybe that's just the journey of life when you get into that area of your life that you just gain a perspective that you didn't have in your 20s and your early 30s. Maybe that's just what it is. Maybe it's the journey that I'm going through now. But all in all, what I was trying to say is I just feel myself changing And I love it, and I appreciate it, and I really thank the Most High for it, because I honestly could not have done the things that I've done, said the things that I've said, been the person that I've been, and gone through this journey if it wasn't for the Most High. It just is what it is. I just couldn't have done it. I'm super thankful for where I'm at right now, and even though sometimes I can get down on myself and feel like I'm a horrible person, the truth of the matter is that I'm not a horrible person. I'm just not. And I'm feeling really good about where I'm at right now. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And if you're feeling the same way, if you understood what I was trying to say, you get where I'm coming from, just know that your good always outweighs your bad. And you can always change. You can always reinvent yourself. You can always change your perspective on who you are. You can always close that chapter of what you believe was the darker places of your life and open up a new book. You can always do that. So I encourage you to do that if you're feeling that way, but I just want to share that with you guys. I also wanted to say good milestones for me, because I have officially made it out of the 300 plus club. I'm no longer in the 300 plus club. I'm super excited about that, because everything you do, you got to have goals, small goals, big goals. And my goal was there was a time where I was like my heaviest I had ever been, which was like 356. And then my goal was to kind of get down to like 325. If I could just get to 325. And I noticed with myself, big, huge, long-term goals are not the best thing for me mentally. It's, like a long-term goal is for me to have like land and things like that, right? So that's a long-term goal. But when I'm in something, like I'm in trying to be healthier and lose weight and stuff like that, it's good for me to have small goals that I can attain in a short period of time and then switch my goals. So as I was saying, I was 356. My goal kind of was to get to 325. If I could just get to 325. And I did end up getting to 325 on my own. It took a while. I wasn't doing it in the proper way. I was just kind of reducing certain things, taking out certain things, but not really paying attention to my body and what it needed and things like that, right? I wasn't doing it in the most healthy way. I just did it over time. So I got there, and then I got sick. And I genuinely feel like me getting sick was the Most High's way of saying, listen, we got to make a change. And if I'm one of those people, if I'm being honest, my mom and my grandma used to always say, who don't learn must feel. And I'm very much one of those people. Like, sometimes I get the lesson, and sometimes it takes a long time for me to get the lesson. And some things I have to go through the pain to get the lesson. And this was one of those situations. So I got really sick, okay? I wasn't like on my deathbed, so I don't want to like make it seem like I was super sick, but I was sick to the point where there was like a week where I couldn't keep anything down. I was pretty much bedridden. I mean, I could get up and walk around. Let me not make it dramatic. I couldn't really do anything. I had no energy. I couldn't eat anything. My stomach was, it was shot. Like, I just could not function. I was very fatigued. I was very weak. I was very tired. Like, I was not in a good place. And from that 325, I got down to 315. And I just made a decision from that point. I almost felt like I didn't have a choice, but I remember praying to the Most High and saying, like, I swear, I promise, if you just allow me to be healthy and not leave my children and leave my husband and be sick, because that's my worst fear, being sick and leaving my children. Oh, I'm about to get emotional. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, my worst fear is let me write my fix.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Get sick and leave my children, because that's how my mom passed away. I was 18 and she just was here one day and she was not the next. And my worst fear is to do that to my children. So I was just praying And I was so disappointed in myself because I put myself in that situation. Like, I know part of me not being in a stable mental place and dealing with a lot of depression at that time contributed to it, but I just felt like I know better. I've always been a very health conscious person, always fed my family really good ingredients, always made it a priority to cook healthy foods, cook most of my meals. And it was something that I decided when I was becoming a mom and starting a family at that time. I didn't make a lot of conscious decisions just because I was so erratic, but one of the decisions that I made was I wanted to make sure that I fed my family healthy foods, home cooked foods, and I wanted to pass that on to my children because that's something that my mom passed on to me, eating healthy, making sure that I'm just not eating crap, not drinking sodas and things like that or whatever. So that's something that I really wanted to pass on to my children. And I just felt like I had put myself in this situation where I was doing things that I knew I shouldn't have done. And now I'm in this situation where I'm putting basically my health at risk. And one of my deepest fears could possibly come true because I just was making bad decisions. So I was just basically praying to the Most High to just like give me a chance, right? Give me a chance to right this wrong. And I believe he did. Now I'm still going through the journey. I'm still having issues with my stomach. It is drastically better than it was before. Like, I have my days, but it's nowhere near it was before. So I am very thankful for that. And I learned the lesson. I learned the lesson that I feel like I needed to learn, right? So that doesn't mean that I won't ever have a meal that I probably shouldn't have. You guys saw me go to Chili's the other day. I had a burger and fries. But 90% of my diet, and I can honestly say that, is healthy foods. And not only healthy foods, foods that my body needs. So often I'm eating things and I'm having meals that I wouldn't be like, yo, this is like the greatest meal in the whole entire world. I can't wait to eat this. But it's what my body is. Right now, how I'm looking at food is for nourishment, to keep my vessel going, to keep my mind going, and not necessarily it being like a euphoric experience when I eat something, right? So that's kind of where I'm at now. I took that 315 that I got down to and I've been like chopping at it. I've been chopping at it with only eating foods that my body responds well to. So bone broths, a lot of red meats, even though I know how people feel about red meats, but for me, they work really well for my body. Red meats, green juices, lots of vegetables, lots of fermented foods, lots and lots. Taking my probiotic, making sure that I'm taking my vitamins for my mental health, that type of thing. And that's really working for me. Now that I'm 297, I weighed myself this morning, I'm feeling really where I'm healthiest. If that means that's 220, if that means that's 140, which I don't think it is, but whatever it is, I'm not so much worried about being super snatched, as the girls would say. I'm just wanting to be at a healthy place for myself. So with that being said, my next goal is 275, right? So like I said, small goals I feel like will get me to where I need to be. So right now I have some stuff coming up this summer and I would like to feel comfortable in what I'm gonna wear, and that might seem superficial, but I just noticed that as the weight is coming off my body, it's just like this lightness, and I like it. I like not feeling super heavy and lethargic and just like I'm carrying all this excess weight, and the weight is not necessarily like physical weight. It's like the more physical weight you have on you, the mental weight comes with it. It's almost like they're hand in hand, if that makes sense. And I just feel this lightness and I like it. So I would really love to just detox everything, get a little bit more weight off my body, get a little weight off my mind, get a little weight off my spirit, and just continue to just be in this zen place that I am right now. So that's the next goal. The next goal is 275. So we're working on that for the next couple months. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know as a woman, as the Israelite woman, we go through things that we don't really know if it's, I'm going to speak for myself because maybe it's not a thing. sometimes you go through things, and because this community is so small and we don't have like a lot of people to confide in, because honestly, a lot of people think that we're aliens, right? They think we're in a cult. They think we're like these weird people that are just like, stay away from because they might like rub off on you. And we know that that's not the case. We're normal people. We're just God's people, and people don't like that. They jealous of that. I mean, what can I say? Sometimes you can feel really alone, or you don't feel comfortable, or you don't have the people that you can confide in and ask, hey, is this a normal thing? Like, do you go through this, or do you know somebody who goes through this? So a lot of times you feel alone in your thoughts. It's not someone that you can call and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Do you know what's up with that? And I especially understand that because my mom passed away, my grandmother passed away, and I don't really have a relationship with my other family members to be able to call up a aunt or my dad or a stepmom or somebody and talk to them about how I feel. You get what I'm saying? It's just the only person that I really have it like that I can go and talk to is my husband. And my husband's, he's great, but he's also a man, so he doesn't understand everything. He doesn't get it. He's a different person. His experience in life is different from mine. So to ask him to dissect everything that I'm going through, that would be unfair. He just some things he just doesn't get. But I'm rambling on. I'm probably gonna have to make this a separate video because I done rambled for like 28 minutes. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about, if you can relate. If you can't, remember, this is a sisterhood. This is a safe space for Israelite women. I literally have that on my homepage because I'm serious about that. Like, I want women to be able to come here and talk. Not that the brothers are not welcome, they are, but it's nice to have conversation and have community. So I really want it to be that. So comment down below. Let me know if you can relate, if you understand where I'm coming from, and if you have a story, I would love for you to share that with me. And I also just want to say, there's some sisters that always comment on my channel. I don't want to call anybody out by name just because I don't know how people feel about that. It might be a little bit like, hey, don't be calling me out. But I just want to recognize there's some sisters and some people in general that always comment and just have like a positive outlook on everything, a positive mindset. Always like, they always provide me with scriptures and just encouraging words. And I just want to shout out to you guys because you guys are my tribe. You're my ace coon booms. You know, you my ride or die, my day ones for this channel. And I just want to shout you out and say how much I appreciate you, because people like that come by a dime or a dozen. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are my sisters and my brothers, and I just want to shout you guys out and let you know that I recognize you. I see you. You're there. And I look forward to basically conversing with you guys in the comments. So I just wanted to say that because y'all be having me all in my feels. But I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys later.
There's something really special happening in our midst. The Israelites are coming back and now we're getting fixed. Stand as a man, cause a man keep the laws. Remember who you are so the Lord can hear you call. Oppression maketh the wise man mad, right? A telltale sign that we need some act right. We lost cause we done took off our own guard and traded in our royalties for a gift card.